There you go.
Check. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do that one again. Wait. 1, 2. All right. Ready?
Check.
You ready for us?
Oh, yay! I'm starting. Dwight E. Eisenhower. Dwight E. Eisenhower.
Try it again.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
There you go.
Great job.
Want to try it one more time?
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
There you go.
Very nice. All right.
Hi, I'm Caroline, and welcome to History Ignited, the podcast where we learn about the event in Billy Joel's song, We Didn't Start the Fire. Today we're talking about Dwight D. Eisenhower, who everyone called Ike.
And I'm Andrew. Dwight D. Eisenhower was a famous general during World War II who later became President of the United States. People liked him because he was a strong leader and calm under pressure, helping America through tough times.
That's right. Before he was president, Eisenhower, or Ike, was the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II. That means he was in charge of all of the Allied armies fighting against Nazi Germany.
All the Allied armies? That's a lot of people from many countries, including America, Canada, and the UK.
And they all had to work together as a team. One of his biggest challenges was planning and leading D-Day, the huge Allied invasion of Normandy, France, on June 6, 1944.
D-Day was risky and very important. Thousands of troops landed on the beaches of Normandy, France, facing tough resistance from German forces. But Eisenhower's plan worked, and it helped turn the tide against Nazi Germany in Europe. It allowed the soldiers to first rescue France from the Nazis and then end the war by invading Germany. Following that, Ike became a national hero in the U.S. and around the world.
After the war, people wanted Ike to be president. His slogan was, I like Ike. He won the election in 1952 by a landslide.
As president, Eisenhower wanted to make America stronger and safer. He created the Interstate highway system, building highways all across the country. It was one of the biggest construction projects ever in America.
The Interstate highway system helped people travel faster. Instead of taking long, winding roads, families could drive on wide, direct highways. It also allowed supplies and military equipment to be transported quickly in case of emergencies.
Before the highway system was created, people wanting to travel long distances would have to take many smaller local roads, often with lots of curves, stop signs, and traffic lights.
That sounds like it would take a lot of time.
It did, but with the interstate highways, people can drive much faster down straight roads without stopping every few minutes. For long trips, like from New York to California or from Maine to Florida, it could cut travel times down by day.
I have a question for Andrew and Caroline. Do either of you know any of the interstate highway numbers?
Nope.
495, 50, 395.
444.
295, 195, 595, 695.
A highway.
I don't know if 595, but yeah, 95 is the one that we take when we go to New York. And those other numbers, the 3-digit numbers, are other highways that come off of 95.
What
so very
about
nice.
when we go to John and Nora's house? Do we take 495?
We take 495 to that and then 66. And 66...
Doesn't it go all intercontinental?
It does. It goes all the way to the West Coast. So if you start driving on 66 and don't stop, you could end up in California.
Yay! That'd be awesome.
All right. So we still use these highways today. The highways you see today when you're traveling by car, many of them were built because of Eisenhower's plan.
Eisenhower also faced big challenges during the Cold War. The Cold War was a time when the United States and the Soviet Union were rivals, each trying to be the most powerful country. Both sides had nuclear weapons, so the threat of a big, destructive war was very real.
Ike wanted to keep America strong, but he didn't want a nuclear war. He worked for peace and only wanted to use power to keep us safe.
Eisenhower is also known for his military-industrial-complex speech. This was his farewell speech when he left office in 1961. In it, he warned Americans to be careful about spending too much money on military and weapons.
The military-industrial complex, what's that?
Those are the companies that help the Army win wars. When soldiers fight the battles, there are many companies that design the guns, make the bullets, serve the food, and many other things. Those companies can make a lot of money through helping the military.
Yes, Eisenhower saw how powerful the defense industry had become because of all that money. He worried if it got too powerful, it might push the country toward wars just to help the companies. That's why he warned Americans about the military-industrial complex. People still talk about that speech today.
During his presidency, Eisenhower also helped America grow in technology and space exploration. He created NASA in 1958 to help the U.S. compete with the Soviet Union in the space race. This was when both countries were racing to see who could make the most progress in space exploration.
NASA started working on space mission, and it began when Eisenhower was president.
He also understood that to be competitive in the long run, he needed to make sure that even kids were involved, so they could help America in the future.
And to help kids prepare for the future, Eisenhower supported more science and math education in schools. He wanted American students to learn the skills they'd need as technology advanced.
Eisenhower's time as president brought many changes, but he also faced challenges. During his presidency, the civil rights movement was growing, and people across the country were fighting for equal rights for Black Americans.
Eisenhower believed in following the law, so when the Supreme Court decided that segregated schools were unconstitutional in the Broward versus Board of Education case, he supported it.
At the time, many people did not like the decision and threatened violence if they were forced to open schools to every student. But Eisenhower knew the decision was the right one, and in 1957, he sent federal troops to Little Rock, Arkansas, to protect the 9 Black students, known as the Little Rock Nine, attend a previously all-white school. This was a big moment in the civil rights movement.
People remember Eisenhower as a strong leader who made America safer.
And even though he was a general, he tried to keep America out of war during a very tense time. He knew firsthand how horrible war could be, and he tried avoiding it whenever possible. That's why he's remembered as one of our greatest presidents. Thanks for tuning in to History United.
If you like hearing these stories, make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Now it's joke time. Ready?
Why did the computer break up with the printer?
Why?
Because it felt like it just wasn't the type.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Keep sending in your jokes, and we'll see you next time on History Ignited.